10 strange Wild West stories that sound fake but are actually real. The Wild West, spanning from the mid-19th century to the early 20th century, remains one of the most captivating periods in American history. Known for its legendary figures and chaotic frontier life, the era has inspired countless myths. Yet, amid the tall tales, there are stories so bizarre they seem fictional but are entirely true. Here are 10 of the strangest, most scandalous, and fascinating tales from the Wild West that prove reality can outshine myth. Number 1. Buffalo Bill scalped a Shyenne warrior. William Buffalo Bill Cody is best remembered for his Wild West show, a traveling extravaganza that romanticized frontier life. Before his fame as a showman, Cody worked as a U.S. Army scout and buffalo hunter. In July 1876, just weeks after General George Armstrong Custer's infamous defeat at Little Bighorn, Cody led a group of soldiers in a skirmish against Cheyenne warriors near Warbonnet Creek, Nebraska. During the battle, Cody killed a warrior named Hayaway, or Yellow Hair, and scalped him, allegedly proclaiming, "the first scalp for Custer." Although some present disputed the claim, Cody dramatized the event for his Eastern audiences, reenacting the scalping on stage. The incident, while shocking, cemented Buffalo Bill's reputation as a fierce frontiersman and propelled his theatrical career. Cody's legacy, however, is controversial, as his buffalo hunts contributed to the near extinction of the species and the displacement of Native American tribes. Number 2. Wild Bill Hickok accidentally killed his deputy. William Wild Bill Hickok, one of the Wild West's most famous lawmen, served as the Marshal of Abilene, Kansas, in 1871. Known for his sharp shooting and no-nonsense approach to justice, Hickok's reputation was already legendary. On October 5, 1871, a group of unruly Texans caused trouble near a saloon. Hickok confronted them after hearing gunfire. In the ensuing chaos, Hickok shot and killed a gambler named Phil Coe. Tragically, he also fatally wounded his deputy, Mike Williams, who had rushed to assist him. The accidental killing haunted Hickok, who was promptly dismissed from his position. He left law enforcement and later joined Buffalo Bill's stage show. Hickok met his end on August 2, 1876, when he was shot in the back of the head by Jack McCall in Deadwood, South Dakota. Hickok was holding a poker hand of aces and eights, now infamous as the dead man's hand. Number 3. Annie Oakley married the man she beat. Born in 1860 in Ohio, Annie Oakley demonstrated extraordinary marksmanship as a teenager. At 15, she competed against professional sharpshooter Frank Butler in a match arranged by a Cincinnati hotel owner. The stakes were high $100, equivalent to nearly $3,000 today. Oakley hit all 25 targets, while Butler missed one. "I was a beaten man the moment she appeared," Butler later admitted. Despite the loss, Butler fell in love with Oakley, and the two married in 1876. As Oakley's fame grew, Butler became her manager and partner, supporting her career as she performed for royalty and millions of fans worldwide. Oakley joined Buffalo Bill's Wild West show in 1885, earning acclaim as Little Sure Shot. The couple remained devoted for 50 years, dying just 18 days apart in 1926. Number 4. Sitting Bull's horse performed during his death. Sitting Bull, the Lakota Sioux chief who famously led his people to victory at Little Bighorn in 1876, had a surprising connection to Buffalo Bill. In 1885, he toured briefly with Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, earning $50 a week, a significant sum at the time. On December 15, 1890, government agents attempted to arrest Sitting Bull at his cabin on the Standing Rock Reservation in South Dakota. Fearing resistance, they brought Indian police, who shot and killed the chief in the ensuing melee. As shots rang out, Sitting Bull's trained gray horse, a gift from Buffalo Bill, performed tricks it had learned during the Wild West show. Witnesses described the surreal scene as the horse danced and bowed amidst the chaos, a haunting reminder of the chief's complicated legacy. Number 5. Wild camels in the American West. In 1856, the U.S. Army introduced camels to the Southwest, believing their resilience made them ideal for desert transport. Secretary of War Jefferson Davis, later Confederate president, allocated $30,000 to import the animals from North Africa and the Middle East. Initially, the Camel Corps showed promise, with the animals carrying heavy loads across arid terrain. However, the outbreak of the Civil War derailed the project. By the late 1860s, the camels had been sold or abandoned, leaving a population of feral camels to roam the deserts of Arizona, California, and Texas. For decades, settlers reported strange sightings of the animals, including the infamous red ghost, a supposed ghostly camel with a human skeleton strapped to its back. The last wild camel sighting occurred in the early 1900s, ending one of the West's strangest experiments. Number 6. The Curse of Bodhi, California. Bodhi, California, once a booming gold rush town in the late 1800s, is now a perfectly preserved ghost town. But what sets Bodhi apart isn't just its hauntingly beautiful decay, it's the so-called Bodhi curse. Legend has it that anyone who takes even the smallest artifact from Bodhi, be it a rock, nail, or piece of wood, will suffer terrible misfortune until the item is returned. The curse has become part of Bodhi's folklore, and the park staff regularly receives letters and packages containing stolen items, often with apologetic notes. One letter read, "I took this rock as a joke, but since then, my car broke down, I lost my job, and my dog ran away. Please take it back." Visitors have claimed illnesses, accidents, and financial ruin, all blamed on the curse. While skeptics dismiss the curse as superstition, the steady stream of returned artifacts suggests otherwise. The mystery of Bodhi's curse continues to draw thrill seekers and ghost story enthusiasts alike. Number 7. The Great Diamond Hoax of 1872. In 1872, two Kentucky swindlers, Philip Arnold and John Slack, devised an ingenious scheme that fooled some of the most influential businessmen of the Gilded Age. They salted a remote area near the Colorado-Wyoming border with diamonds, rubies, and sapphires, creating the illusion of an incredibly rich mine. Their plan worked perfectly. Bankers and investors, including Charles Tiffany and financier George D. Roberts, eagerly poured money into the discovery. In total, the duo extracted approximately $660,000 from their backers, a sum worth over $14 million today. Geologist Clarence King, however, exposed the hoax when he visited the site and recognized the gems as imported. By the time the scam unraveled, Arnold and Slack had vanished with their fortune. Their audacious con remains one of the Wild West's most infamous tales of deception. Number 8. Doc Holliday's Last Laugh. John Henry Doc Holliday, born in 1851, was a dentist by trade but a gambler and gunfighter by reputation. Despite suffering from tuberculosis, he became a central figure in the gunfight at the OK Corral, standing alongside the Earp brothers in Tombstone, Arizona, in 1881. Holliday was known for his quick temper and deadlier aim, earning him the respect of allies and fear of enemies. Though his life was marred by violence, it was tuberculosis, not bullets, that claimed him. In 1887, bedridden in a Colorado sanitarium, Holliday reportedly uttered his final words, "This is funny," reflecting his surprise at dying peacefully in bed instead of a gunfight. Holliday's legacy endures as one of the West's most enigmatic and feared figures, immortalized in films, books, and folklore. Number 9. Calamity Jane's Wild Lifestyle. Martha Jane Canary, or Calamity Jane, defied every expectation of 19th-century women. She dressed in men's clothing, worked as a scout, and was known for her hard-drinking, no-nonsense attitude. Jane claimed to have been romantically involved with Wild Bill Hickok, though historians debate the truth of her stories. She died in 1903, destitute but legendary. True to her wishes, she was buried next to Hickok in Deadwood. Number 10. Judge Isaac Parker's record number of hangings. Known as the Hanging Judge, Isaac Parker presided over Fort Smith, Arkansas, during its lawless heyday. Between 1875 and 1896, Parker sentenced 160 people to death, 79 of whom were hanged. Despite his harsh nickname, Parker was a staunch advocate for justice, often lamenting the need for capital punishment. "I never hung a man," he once said. "It is the law."